The National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls was a 2-year investigation into the systemic causes of violence against Indigenous women, girls, and 2 LGBTQIA people in Canada. The final report, released in June 2019, outlines over 200 recommendations for the Canadian government and details the history of violence and the systemic causes of violence against Indigenous women and girls. The report builds upon the experiences of over 2,000 family members, survivors of violence, experts, and knowledge keepers, who have spoken on their experiences with violence and the lasting impacts of colonization on Indigenous communities. The report outlines how colonialism, racism, sexism, and persistent and deliberate human rights violations and Indigenous rights violations have contributed to the disproportionate levels of violence experienced by Indigenous women and girls in Canada. The report calls for the Canadian government to implement the calls for justice and to work with Indigenous communities to address the root causes of violence.